Good morning. Welcome in. If you're going through a hard season, stay with me. This prayer is for you. Protect what God is building in private. Have you ever noticed how, in some seasons, God becomes quieter? Not absent, just quieter. You pray, and instead of immediate answers, He gives you stillness. You ask for direction, and instead of opening every door, He starts closing some. You reach for people who once felt familiar, and suddenly there's distance. Not because you've done something wrong, but because God is protecting what He is building in you. This message is for the person who feels hidden, for the one who feels like life has gone quiet, for the one who feels misunderstood because you're no longer as available, as loud, or as accessible as you used to be. Hear me clearly. Your private season is not punishment. It is preparation. God does some of His deepest work in hidden places. Before David wore a crown, he was hidden in the field. Before Esther stepped into purpose, she was prepared in private. Before Joseph reached the palace, he went through hidden seasons of refining. Even Jesus withdrew often before stepping into public ministry. God is not careless with calling. He does not reveal publicly what He has not strengthened privately. So maybe this season is not delay, not rejection, not abandonment. It's protection. God has been protecting your peace because what He is building in you cannot survive constant access. Not everyone is meant to have a front row seat to your becoming. Some of you have been feeling guilty because you've been pulling back. You've stopped over-explaining. You've become more selective. You've started saying no. You've chosen rest. You've chosen boundaries. And part of you wonders, am I becoming distant? Am I losing people? No, you are maturing. There is a difference between isolation and consecration. Isolation drains you, but consecration restores you. When God pulls you back, it's because He wants to pour into you without interruption. Matthew 6:6 says, "Go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen." There is power in the closed door. There is healing in the secret place. Not everything God tells you is meant to be announced immediately. Some people delay their own breakthrough because they expose the seed too early. A seed does not grow because it is exposed. It grows because it is buried. And yes, being buried can feel uncomfortable. Being hidden can feel lonely. Being misunderstood can feel painful. But listen carefully. Hidden is not forgotten. Covered is not cancelled. Delayed is not denied. What feels like silence is often strategy. Luke 2:19 says, "Mary treasured these things and pondered them in her heart." She didn't explain everything. She carried it privately. Some miracles need maturity before they need visibility. Maybe that's why your circle has shifted. Maybe that's why certain conversations feel heavy. Maybe that's why some relationships no longer fit. Because what fed your old self cannot sustain who you are becoming. Growth requires separation. Healing requires space. Peace requires boundaries. And let me say this clearly, boundaries are not bitterness. Privacy is not pride. Silence is not weakness. You do not owe everyone access to the version of you that God is rebuilding. Romans 12:2 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renewal requires stillness. Transformation requires space. Clarity requires quiet. You cannot hear God clearly when you are constantly surrounded by noise. Some of you are waiting for a sign, but the sign has already been the discomfort. God made certain spaces uncomfortable because you were never meant to stay there. Stop grieving what God is pruning. Not every loss is loss. Some things are being removed because they cannot come with you. You cannot step into new grace carrying old patterns. You cannot walk in peace while entertaining chaos. Ecclesiastes 3 reminds us there is a time for everything, and maybe this is your time to be quiet, be still, be selective, be hidden, be healed. Because when God reveals what He has been building in private, you won't have to force anything. The confidence will speak, the peace will speak, the discipline will speak. What God builds slowly lasts longer. So if this season feels quiet, don't panic. If your circle feels smaller, don't panic. If you feel stretched, don't panic. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being covered, protected, prepared, positioned. God is not hiding you because He wants less for you. He's hiding you because He knows what you carry. And what heaven is growing in you is too valuable to expose too soon. So protect your peace, protect your prayer life, protect your mind, protect your healing. Because one day, what was built in silence will speak louder than anything you could have announced. Your hidden season has purpose. Your quiet season has power. And your private season is preparing you for public grace. Stay close to God, because what He is building in you is worth protecting. If this prayer touched you, type Amen in the chat. I'm praying for each of you. You are not alone.